I have played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons over the past few years. Well over 1,000 hours at this point. We've killed dragons, slain gods, and even once or twice got that happy ending. However, in those journeys, I very rarely emerged unscathed. In fact, in all but one campaign I've played in, I've ended up playing at least one additional character, because one of my own had died. And that is what this series is about. These little diatribes are nuclear stories that are to encompass my characters and their fates. If this kind of content interests you, do not forget to like and subscribe. If you don't like it or want to see something else, just let me know in the comment section down below. So, what better way to start off these digressions than with my first character to die? And it was a splendid way to go, if I might add. The character was my human champion fighter, Johann. I've told part of his story elsewhere in older D&D stories on the channel, so I'll keep this brief. Johann was a pretty generic champion fighter, an ex-soldier who ran away from his problems and found a merry band of adventurers to meet up with to save the world. And save the world he did. The campaign rolled on, and Johann finally met his fate against the BBEG of what would be part one of a very long campaign that is still talked about among our group in very high tones. You see, we were in the boss chamber of the sorcerer we had accidentally revived by releasing the devil that was contracted to bring him back to life, and we begin the fight. The sorcerer released a sunburst and hit our party hard, but we made great headway for him. Unfortunately, the dungeon master, after a few rounds, had a few dreaded words. Johann, roll a wisdom save. See, in my group, Dan, roll a wisdom save, has become a bit of a meme, because no matter the wisdom score I have, I always fail the crucial wisdom save. And this is where that meme started. You see, the sorcerer's words weaved their way into Johann's mind, morphing it, suppressing his will, putting him under the effects of dominate person. After which, the sorcerer deemed it was only necessary for him to attack the party. Flame tongue in hand, Johann approached. The paladin tried and failed to beat him down, though he did do more than sizable damage on Johann. And in the next few rounds, the paladin fell after the sorcerer and Johann both attacked him. Our third party member, a monk that was out of his key points and tired and beaten, was next. And the sorcerer killed the paladin, Johann approaching to finish off the monk. The monk player is my best friend, and in character he knew reinforcements were coming, and seeing the tide turn, he decided it was best to wait for those allies to come by. Johann, however, dominated by the sorcerer, did not make that easy. Some attacks were exchanged between the two, and the monk nearly died. But what was most important, Johann was put down, his hit points dropping to 0. I rolled my first death saving throw and failed. And then, as Emil was fleeing, the reinforcements came. The BBEG, who we had stopped from enacting his plan, was slain. However, in the chaos, not only had Johann failed a second death saving throw, he was struck by a lightning bolt. And for those of you unaware, when a downed character takes damage, if it's by a spell, they automatically fail a death saving throw. And if you get 3 death saving throw failures, your character dies. And this is no different for Johann, you see, because I get those dreaded words. Johann has died. Now, that's not where things end in this story. You see, after the sorcerer's defeat and the world was saved, the paladin and the fighter were remembered fondly for their noble sacrifices. In-game, this momentous occasion would carry on through all of the remaining parts. Outside of game, among the obligatory, I'm sorry your character died, but that's how the game goes, I was already whipping up a new character. And you'll hear her fate next time. Until then, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you around. See ya!